Hi everybody, welcome to Whiskey Gulch. I'm Kenny Hall. It's a simple video today, just because I haven't done anything for a couple of weeks, and so I've ground a blank, and this is a video to kind of show that, if you don't do it for a minute and set it down, it may or may not turn out good. And so I'm just going to do it and chat about it as we go. So here we go. I've got this stuff. It's I got it from my friend. He called it Milford, or Milfred, and I'm not sure what that is. It's a little bit like Silver Sheen from Glass Buttes. You can see it's got a few scratches in it still down there. I think I can get past those with the round platform. As I've said before, it's not something you want to try with a bevel platform. So let me see. I know the camera is backwards, but from where I'm at, so this is my left hand, so you're looking at everything backwards. So I like to start at the back end on the left side. That never really occurred to me when I was making these videos, but right hand. This is a little bit harder of obsidian. Not too bad so far. Little trouble area there where I had a couple of pieces go off the next flake and come back and take a piece out of the previous flake. I think it's important to remain kind of open-minded, going back into it after a little bit. I don't want to be discouraged, but I don't want to be over-encouraged either, because then I'll be discouraged when the flaking doesn't go the way that I want it to go. Fairly common thing that happens here. towards the tip. Let's see if I can figure out which flake did it. This flake right here came over and it took out some of the opposite side. It's a pretty easy fix. Little pokies. There's one right there. At least with the dark material, it's easy to see. There we go. Easier to see than it is to grab. I have a fellow napper coming here in a few weeks, and I would like to be warmed up by the time he gets here, where I am putting out fairly consistently nicer blades. Okay, again, that is the left side. This is just taking off the serration so that when I put the platform on for the second side, I have a pretty consistent edge to work with. See if you can see it. You can see that little chunk out in the front now. Let me turn it there. You can see it better that way, right there. Right back. Something that I started to do in the last few months that is different. Usually when I do the second side platform and I go to the grinder, and I just scrunched off the edge, is I'll just start over here, and then I'll kind of roll the blade on that wheel as I'm pushing down in there, right? Like I'll turn it just a little bit. What I'm doing now is I'm making this flat again. Like I'll do on a super fine wheel, I'll do 4 or 5 strokes and make it flat, and then I'll come over and roll the facets off. And the reason that I'm doing that is because the way that I was doing it before with that edge so thin is when I put side pressure on it with the wheel or up against the wheel, it would sometimes break that out, and then I would have spots where, you know, it might be the width of a flake or so, but there would be no platform. And this method has changed that. And we're starting on the right side. That is a pretty thin platform. Thin platform. Right, not too thin. This is another place where I want to start with the short flake, is once I start onto the long platform and I'm right up that tip, I want to take a short one, maybe a couple of short ones, coming back this way, so that I keep that peak as intact as possible. You can see it's a little misshapen, but I will straighten that out before I'm finished. If you take too big of a flake, it'll just take off a large chunk of that edge and that peak point, whatever you want to call it. Not incredibly bad. Sharp. Very sharp edge. But we're not finished yet, so this is an important time to keep that open mind about what happens. It's not that big of a deal. Again, I took out a little bit of the opposite side right there. And we'll go back just a little bit, if you can see it right there. Broke off a piece. And so I do want to maintain sharpness, and so I only want to take off just a little bit. And one of my recent videos, I think you guys see me talk about just leaving it sharp all the way where it's serrated. And I've been doing that lately too. Here in this little finger notch, I don't mind taking off a little bit more, because I'm going to end up wrapping sinew there anyways when I go to finish the knife. I'm going to take off a little bit more. Oh, there's never mind. Thought it was a fracture. It's a spider web. Come back the opposite way here. Give you a look at that. Still sharper than 95% of what is out there and available to purchase. I will vouch for Grady Bowen all day long. His blades are a little bit sharper than mine, and very cool deal. I can make my blades as sharp as his when I choose to do that. But, yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming to Whiskey Gulch and hanging out with me. Have a great one.